Yes, you've read the title correct. I was released from my job. Some people would call it fired. Um, but I'm an alchemist by nature, so I don't like to use low vibrational terms like fired. So, yes, I was released. And thank goodness, I actually feel relieved. Um, now I have the space to do the things that I want to do, move purposefully, move intentionally. So, it's all good. Um, yeah, it was divinely orchestrated. So, it was like everything just happened right on time. I could not complain about anything at all. So let me tell you about what happened. Let me give you the tea. So I go into work. It's February 17th. And if anybody really knows about February 17th and all the different things that occurred that day, it was the new moon. It was the solar eclipse. It was Ramadan. It was the Chinese start of the Chinese calendar, year of the fire horse. It also was Mardi Gras that day. I mean, and so many things were going on. And then we're also moving into, the spring equinox area. So like now is the time to really plant your seed and see things take off. You know, you got to move how the earth moves. And so I was released in the divine time and it was like so on point. But that day I went into work. Well, actually, let me tell you about how I felt when I woke up. I woke up and I just was like, because every day I was waking up before that, I was sad. And I was like, oh, I don't want to go into this place. And I actually am a positive person. So for me to get to this point where I was really irritated to even like I wasn't even getting up putting on my best clothes. Like I was like just throwing on whatever, like, okay, let me just put on this little hoodie and jeans going to work. And baby, if you know me, I get dressed up usually when I go to work, especially when I'm feeling good. So that's how you could tell it was getting to the end for me. And also I never stay at a job for more than 4 years, especially if I'm not happy. And my goal was to be self sufficient, self employed. So it was never my goal to really stay there that long, anyways. And it was just chaotic and so much drama, so much negative people who fed off of energy vampires. They just fed off of negative energy. And I was like, ugh, like I just can't continue to be around these people. You know, I'm a I'm a butterfly. I like to fly free, so I woke up that morning and I felt good. I was like, I don't know what it is about today, but I just feel like different. It feels so good. I'm like excited for the day. I went in there with a positive attitude, and then the one manager, he's just like, we're having a meeting. And I'm like, so behind on things because they kept bothering me all the time. And now I realize that they were doing it on purpose. They wanted me out. I'm very outspoken and I let people know when they're doing things wrong because I like for them to take accountability so that they can correct it. I feel like that's the correct way for a business to run and for us to create processes so that we're efficient. So we're running efficiently. Um, and so they really just couldn't stand me. They was like, she gotta go. I'm sick of her. Making me be accountable. I need somebody in this seat who's gonna let me do whatever and tell them to just get it done. Cause I was like, no, I'm not doing that. That makes no sense at all. So they set up a fake meeting. The fake meeting was to really see where I was left off with things. So when the new lady started the next day, she could just take over. But it's like, baby, this meeting is not gonna tell you anything because I do too much in this office. A 15-minute meeting is not going to be enough for you to know all where I left off at. So good luck with anybody who had to come in there and take over, especially due to the fact that it's a fast paced environment. You can't have a 60-year-old woman come in and move like a 39-year-old woman because, baby, I was getting it. I had to run to the title bureau myself. Okay, so background about where I worked. I worked at a luxury dealership. We have Maseratis, Porsches, um, Rolls Royce, um, you name a BMWs, Mercedes Benzes, like Maybachs. We have $230,000 cars, $730,000 cars. You name it, we have it. You know, people would be like, well, how do you feel working for a luxury dealership? They make my cars. I don't feel like anything. I go in there, I do my titles, I go home to my kids. You know, so I didn't feel like anything. And mind you, I've been there for almost 4 years, three and a half, and they never gave me a raise. Never gave me a raise. Even when I asked for a raise, they said that they were going to, we can't give you a raise because we're not making enough money right now. But what we can do is say you can work 35 hours instead of 40 hours for the same $50,000. And I'm like, but you gave me more work. I did more work in hopes sorry, in hopes to get a raise. You said when we start that team players move up in the ranks. So I was a team player. I took on extra work and you never gave me any money, extra money. Now you're saying that I have to do the same amount of work in less time and the other work on top of it. You didn't take anything away. You said you got to do the title clerk work and the extra tasks that we gave you within 35 hours. So it's like they set me up for failure. I just feel like that was important to mention in the whole storyline because they set me up for failure. Hold on, gotta stretch. Um, so, anyways, let me tell you how it happened. That day, I went to the title bureau 3 times after the meeting. Mind you, I'm working a 7-hour shift. I got to pick my kids up at 3:15. So usually I would run to the title bureau like 1 time a day or 2 times a day. This day I had so much stuff that I was trying to complete that I went 3 times and still worked on people, talked to customers. Like I squeezed so much in a small amount of time. And when I'm coming back from the title bureau, the guy, the general manager, he ain't no general manager. Anyways, this ain't about him. This is about divine timing. But there's a whole storyline that goes with this. So he's like, I need to talk to you. And I'm like, well, I gotta pick my kids up at 3:15 and I need to leave here by 3:15. I gotta pick them up by 3:30 and it's going on like 3:10. He's like, oh, it's only gonna take a couple seconds. And I'm like, okay. He's like, yeah, just stop in the office, talk to me. And I'm like, okay, I go in and he walking with some papers with another person because you know they have to have somebody else as a witness to for the releasing of the employee. So he's like, here's the paper. Can you sit down? I said, I don't need to sit down. I'm in a rush. I look at the first line. Oh, you're terminated. Oh, okay. You want to talk about it? There's nothing to talk about. What's there to talk about? Oh, well, can you sign that paper for me? I'm not signing anything. First of all, you're not about to put me in a spiritual contract with you, which will then mess up my physical world because you're gonna then say, oh, you're not qualified for unemployment because you agreed to these terms or whatever. And it's like, no, I wasn't doing that. And please excuse the quality of this video. It's not gonna be the best because when source tell you to do something, you better do it. Once I upgrade, I'll get a better computer, better camera, whatever. But right now, I just sort of said, you just got to get to it. Um, so yeah, make a long story short, that was the day I was released. And I actually felt relieved. I was like, yeah, yeah. I was like, I finally don't have to wake up and go there anymore. I finally don't have to be stressed. I finally get to be my authentic self. I'm not forced into this box, so I was like, yes. And so many other things occurred. Like, I knew I was about to get some deposits from some things. And I was like, dang, that's crazy how that worked. Like, I just got approved for something and I was getting some deposits. And then, of course, I'm going to get my unemployment and amongst other things. I was just like, baby, let me go ahead and get this good old Medicaid. Let me go ahead and get this stamps. I ain't going to live off of it forever, but it's definitely going to be taken advantage of. But I was forced into a new timeline. I was forced into a new timeline, and I manifested this because I also was thinking before this, not too shortly before this, I was thinking like, dang, what would it be like if I didn't have to go to this job every day, and I had that time frame to really work on myself and to really work on my brand and who I am, and really be authentically myself and dress how I want to dress, and like, and smile and not be stressed out, and to have my nervous system regulated. Like, that was big for me. Like, I just know when your nervous system is regulated, like, you can really thrive in this world. You can really manifest times 10. Like, so it was that I got released and Source gave me the green light to go ahead and do the things that I needed to do. It's like, when you ask for these things, I gave you what you asked for, and what are you going to do with this space? What are you going to do? Are you going to really take the time out? And yes, fuck yeah. I'm about to do this thing. You're not going to give me the green light. Like, I got so much gratitude. I was smiling for days after I got fired. Like, people were like, are you okay? Like, are you sure? Do you need anything? I was like, baby, I'm good. I'm more than good. Like, just like, I still give them gratitude, like, because I'm really genuinely happy overall. And it's like, I'm not forced to deal with people's energy who are not aligned with me. Like, I make decent choices in my own personal life, and when I leave work, I purposefully don't deal with people who do not align with me. So why do I have to wake up and go to a place and deal with people just for the mighty dollar? Maybe I can get the mighty dollar being authentically myself, you know. But I just had to leave when the time was right, and the signs were there. Um, but yeah, I'm in a new timeline. I quantum leaped over here, doing my thing. I'm talking to my new tribe family. I really appreciate you for watching. If you already made it this far, we're 13 minutes into this, 13:57, and I really appreciate you even making it this long. Uh, but yeah, I have my notes over here because this is like my first video. I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous. Uh, not that nervous. I really like in person. I'm like a really fun girl, but like on camera, I'm still a little camera shy. So just bear with me. But I do have so many things to talk about and so many things that I've been through. I'm not a person who's like specializes in anything. I'm a Virgo. I'm good at all things, but I'm great at the journey of my life. And so I have stories from my life and um, my divine journey. I'm sorry, my phone keep going off, so it threw me off. I was like, what was I about to say? Must be important because I got a phone call and a text message. So when I get off of this, I'm gonna go ahead and have to tend to that. But anyways, um, so this job served me a purpose. It helped me pay my bills. It helped me buy a house. It helped me in entertainment purposes as far as hanging with my friends, traveling, and you know, car notes, and it has served its purpose. It got me to where I needed. It set the foundation until it was no longer needed. So, I wouldn't advise you just going in your job and just quitting unless you really have a backup plan. But, you know, if you really desire something in your heart, when you're a chosen one, Source gonna give it to you. Source, God, universe, creator, I don't know, whatever. It's all the same higher power. But as long as you keep in your heart what you really truly desire and your purpose, and you're intentional about life. I'm very intentional about life. So when you keep that in your heart and you keep doing the work and you're meditating and you're doing the shadow works and you're journaling, and you're making sure you protect your energy as far as the people around you and things of that nature, then you're aligned. And sometimes it may feel like you're unaligned, but that Janine Aiko song, "We Are Never Far." We are never far. So just make sure that you keep working on yourself and don't give up even in time of turmoil, and it feels like, I don't know if I could freaking do this shit no more. Because baby, I was there. I was there, and like, you're going to be good. Believe that and trust that and keep on being strong. Um But I was getting to something, and what I was getting to is another divine timing situation. I'm writing a book. I'll let you guys know when it's out. Love. I'll let you guys know when it's out. But what inspired that, if I was never in an uncomfortable situation, this book would have never came about. And because I was in an uncomfortable situation, usually 3 o'clock in the morning is when, if I'm at ease, I can't sleep. I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was pissed. And I said, I don't want to do this no more. But it's like, if you don't want to do this anymore, then what are you gonna do about it? And I created that book from me not wanting to be at that job no more. That's what an alchemist does. You use something that's in a certain polarity. I guess you can call it a negative polarity if you're trying to get to a positive polarity. You want to take something and be the magician and use it and turn it around for your good and for your purpose. And that's just what I did. So I feel like the book is amazing. I'm gonna kind of piggyback off of that. Some of my topics on YouTube will be, based upon the book, and I'll let y'all know when to go ahead and get that. But um, I kind of want to know. Let me look at my notes. I kind of know. Was there something recently that was removed from your life, or something that you were released from? Was there a job, a situationship, a friendship? Um, yeah, was there anything recently that you were released from that you see very beneficial? Like, everything is there for a reason, and you have to figure out the reason. If you don't figure out the reason, then it was all done in vain. Oh, the book is called Gap Filler. I wasn't going to give y'all the name of the book this soon, but it makes sense to give the name of the book because everything is there for a reason. It's a gap. It's a gap filler. It's there for you to learn what it is that you need to learn from this. And if you don't learn, because the gap always have to get filled, but it has to get filled with a different polarity, and you have to figure out why this is happening and occurring in your life and what do you need to do to fill it. I wasn't happy doing that job. What do I need to fill it with? I still got to make an income, but I need to fill it with something purposeful that I want to um, make income from. Okay, I was just watching this YouTube video. I guess this guy named Dante, I don't know, it's my first time running across him. And he's deciding if he wants to be a bus driver or if he wants to, and sorry, I'm jumping all over the place. That's how my brain works. But if he wants to be a bus driver or if he wants to continue his YouTube channel, he's saying 1 month he made $9,000 from it. And there's somebody who was down below in the comments who said, oh, I would think that you should want to keep your job because that's going to be breaking generational curses. And I beg to differ. I beg to differ. My mom is like 67 years old, still working. I think that that is ridiculous. To work for somebody else your whole entire life. You got me messed up. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I did hair before, so I had my own business before. So this is not my first rodeo. But what I would not do is continue to go to my deathbed and make somebody else rich and not really genuinely love life and experience life because I had to wake up and do the 9 to 5. That is a curse. That's a generational curse. That is the new slavery. What I do see a lot of people doing is breaking free from that. Like, we do not have to do that shit no more. Like, ma'am, it's all, her perception is different. Her perception is her reality, and that ain't my reality. I'm sorry you think like that, and you feel like that's the way to go, but no. So Dante, shout out for trying to figure out how to really break generational curses. But yeah, I hope that you made it all the way to this point of the video. I know I was rambling and doing a lot of extra talking, but this is your first introduction to truly who I am. And I hope that something resonated with you. And like I said, if you have been released from anything, please comment below and let me know what you've been released from and how it's working in your favor, because you are an alchemist, baby. You are. I'm very proud of you. And keep up the good work. Working on yourself, eating healthy, meditating. We can't be in the positive light all the time because, baby, we need balance. So if you need to fuck some shit up, no, I'll take that part out. But I'm just saying. But yeah, my closing is that when it is set up in divine timing, success is already yours. You still have to do the work though. You can't just, I'd be damned if I have all this time and I sat here and I did nothing with it. I'd be really disappointed in myself and I'd be clocking in another 9 to 5. And baby, I refuse. So thank you for listening and tuning in. I'm glad you made it to the end, and I'll see you next time.